All right. Welcome to the Sports Injury Central Pro Football Doc podcast. Week 6 recap. Sunday mostly done. You see some of our guys leaving the building, but Taylor and I and Doug and others are still here.
We sleep here, right?
We will. I mean, let's be fair. I'm going to look at the Sunday night game from home.
Yes.
And then back here tomorrow morning. Detroit and Kansas City still to go.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go over the injuries today so people can prep. But before we get started, I can't remember the last. I mean, honestly, maybe I'm wrong. You can correct me. Last time I remember, like, pregame, oh my gosh, changes. I mean, the biggest one that I can remember was Tyrod Taylor. And no, I did not puncture Tyrod Taylor's lung.
Have to say it every time.
I know, because people still think I did.
Yeah.
That was the LA Chargers. I was San Diego Chargers. We were the first to report on it, right? I mean, it was a mystery, and I still remember the situation. Tyrod Taylor is the starter. The story came out later. Antonio Gates, who just got in the Hall of Fame, looked at Justin Herbert and said, "What are you doing in the huddle?" Like, he didn't even know.
Right.
And then we went back and looked, and there was ribs on Friday where he's on the injury report. So we surmised a pregame rib block injection gone awry.
Mm-hmm.
And we did see the primary care doctor with Tyrod Taylor on the sidelines, difficulty breathing and the whole deal. But that was an amazing change. This week,
Trent Brown, too, I remember. The Raiders, we had an active 8:30, and then a couple minutes later, they added Trent Brown to it. And you told me that's never happened. You don't usually do that. And it was because also an issue with, some issue that he had to go to
the hospital. It was an IV.
Yes, exactly.
That was an IV, air, bleb, whatever.
Yes, yeah.
But my point is, not infrequently, you'll have someone pull a hamstring or a groin in warm-ups inside 90 minutes.
Right.
I can't remember a situation today where Anthony Richardson, orbital fracture with a training room mishap with bands, whatever it was, the band broke or whatever it was.
Whatever happened, yeah.
And he has an orbital fracture, which likely often needs surgery, not every time. Can affect his vision. Thankfully, it's not permanent. Remember Geno Smith? That was an orbital fracture from a punch from a teammate.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And then Charvarius Ward warming up. Everyone thinks a football field is chaos. No, it's very regimented. It's diagrammed out who's in what part of the field and when. Even for kickers and opposing kickers. I mean, there's a decorum.
Mm-hmm.
Just like in the game on the sideline, you think it's a hot mess on the sideline. Oh no, O-linemen are here and the D-linemen are here and the doctors are here or here unless they're seeing somebody. I mean, it's very regimented. And obviously, I'm sure that backup tight end feels bad. He didn't belong there. Charvarius Ward was running a drill out on the field and he wandered out and head wasn't on a swivel. Very unfortunate. The unfortunate part about that is not only he missed the game and thankfully his team won, but it cost him because Kenny Moore was already out and you lose your number one corner.
Came a cluster issue, yeah.
But also, he's likely on IR. Remember, he had a week 1 concussion. So this is the second one this season for Charvarius Ward. So that's not strange enough. God bless Josh Simmons and whatever's going on. He's a San Diego kid. We're in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Some personal matter. I hope everything with him and his family are okay, but he's missing the game tonight. And that's a little different than the others, but that's 3 very unusual last-minute things that happened. So anyways, let's go over things. Right now, there's only 1 game remaining. The Bucs are ahead 30-19 against the 49ers. Otherwise, we have Detroit, Cincinnati, and then the 2 Monday night games tomorrow. Where do you want to start, Taylor?
All right, I'll let people join, get more people in, so I won't start with Puka. I know you guys are all asking about him.
We'll cover Puka.
Yes.
We'll cover Garrett Wilson. We'll cover
Well, the first one I want you to do is Fred Warner. Start with the Niners. So Niners have multiple issues on both sides of the ball. Bosa, now Warner. Talk about Warner.
Bosa, ACL. Warner, fracture dislocation, right ankle. Friendly fire, rolled up on. It's basically been confirmed. I haven't seen the confirmation, but he's going to need surgery to fix the fracture in the ligament. He's done for the season. The only good news I can say is this is the Chris Godwin injury, and you see him playing in this game here against Tampa. This is the Dak Prescott injury from years ago. This is the Drew Aller injury from Penn State yesterday. This weekend. The game is officially over. Tampa 30, San Francisco 19. In any case, and then Mustafa just got back. He's not 100%. He didn't play all snaps today. So you basically have the best player in each line of your defense with issues. The 49ers were, along with the Panthers, were the most injured team last year. And today, this season's no different for them.
They play without Purdy and Pearsall on one side of the ball as well. So, like you said, still continuing.
And I don't know who they play next, so we can look here. But I'm not sure Purdy's back next week with his turf toe issue. And Mac Jones
trucking through his PCL. Yeah. Niners play the Falcons on the night game, Doc, on week 7.
Yeah. But anyways, that's kind of crazy. Okay.
All right. Well, let's jump right into
let's talk about another quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Kyler Murray. We were the first to say he's not playing this week. I think it lingers to next week, especially with the respectable performance that Jacoby Brissett put out there today with 320 yards.
We'll stick with the Cardinals. Talk about Marvin Harrison real quick, Doc.
Marvin Harrison, yes. So Kyler Murray with the foot sprain, whether it's officially a Lisfranc or a midfoot sprain, potato, that doesn't heal in 1 week. He's not going to be fully mobile. And with Jacoby Brissett's performance at this point, it does seem like it's going to be another week of Jacoby Brissett. More to come. Marvin Harrison hit his back of his head on the turf. Turf is harder than grass. Bottom line is he did not return, and he's had a concussion history.
Last year, week 6, he got ruled out of a game, but then he went through practice, cleared, didn't miss actual full game. And then in college, he had one as well.
So 3rd concussion, 2nd in the NFL, 1 last year. This is not Charvarius Ward IR. Of course, every concussion is different, but the likelihood is he misses next week.
I do want to say he got a concussion in college and the guy that hit him was Javon Bullard, who's on the Packers. And Javon Bullard today suffered a concussion. So there's nothing to that. Just linking two things together.
Where was the connection? But okay.
Yeah.
You're reaching.
Yes.
You're reaching. You're reaching.
Yes. But all right, well, let's jump in, Doc.
But I will say this. I mean, it's one thing to say Josh Simmons, but Ward and Anthony Richardson, I mean, that's lightning striking twice on the same team pregame. That's craziness. Never heard of anything like that before.
And one injury was before the inactives and one injury was after inactives. Like you said, you don't usually see either one of those types.
No,
right?
Each team gets at most one of these surprises a season. At most. The average 32 teams don't get one of these. I'd say maybe there's less than 3 surprises a season.
Yeah.
Not per team, but a season.
For a whole,
We got 3 today.
And 2 from one team,
these are last minute surprises, right? I mean, sometimes you do see like Harrison Smith, personal, but you see it coming. This Josh Simmons out of the blue, Anthony Richardson out of the blue, although he probably wouldn't have played today. Daniel Jones didn't get hurt, and Charvarius Ward.
From an internal standpoint, because sometimes the inner working stuff. Do the Chiefs know about Simmons before the announcement, so they're preparing for like with Wanya Morris, or is this like just a sudden surprise as it is for us?
Well, the team knows everything as soon as it is knowable. Did they know before the public? 1,000%. They knew when Josh Simmons got on a plane to go to California.
Right.
They knew when Josh Simmons said, I'm packing my bags and I'm heading to the airport. You don't just get on a plane without telling your position coach or calling somebody.
Your line of work, in general,
I mean, as soon as you might have to call in sick, you got to tell, especially for a game.
Right.
So when did they know? Was it this morning? Was it last night? Was it right at kickoff for the early games today? I don't know when he got on the plane.
Whenever he found out.
I don't know if he booked a private jet. I don't know if the Chiefs sent him on their plane. I don't know. I don't know what the issue is. I hope he and his family are okay. The Chiefs know sooner than the world. Did they know with enough time
to prep
on Saturday to script some things out in the walkthrough? I don't know that they had that. They knew before we knew. They knew as soon as the team knows.
All right, Doc. Everybody's waiting. Tell me about Puka Nacua and his foot/ankle. Which one is it? Or is it both?
Well, from the war room here, we looked at video when it happened. And quite honestly, everyone saw him grabbing at his left lower leg. By the video on that jump ball back shoulder, I didn't see a lot. And then we looked at 2 replays, didn't see a lot. Yet he was in clear pain and he was helped off around people's shoulders. And at that point, I said, never judge a reaction, I always say, but likely out, right, at that point. Well, Puka's Puka, and he came back in, but he really didn't do anything. We have reviewed the 5 plays. On the Tyler Higbee touchdown, he was a clear decoy. Put him in the slot, run him inside, drew attention. The play went to Tyler Higbee on the outside. A couple other plays, he was a decoy. A couple other plays, 1 or 2 other plays, he blocked. One play, he ran a mini route. He also did a tiny dance after Higbee's touchdown, but his right knee and leg moved. The left knee and leg and ankle didn't do a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
And he clearly limped around in those 5 plays that he played. Hats off to him for returning. I think being a decoy helped the Rams, but he had no real targets and no other stats. So putting all this together, based on what limited video we see, I have to think he has a muscle tendon injury, likely peroneal tendon, the way that he went up and then landed awkwardly on the left ankle/foot. Now, I'm not hedging. The peroneal muscle is in the lower leg. It hooks around the ankle, the tendon, and into the foot. There were reports of foot. Now it's ankle. Potato. It's the tendon that crosses from the leg through the ankle to the foot. The peroneal tendon is my best guess. Do I think it's long-term? No.
Educated guess.
Educated guess. Yeah. Is it long-term? No. Is it surgical? No. Is it IR worthy? No. Does he miss next week? Likely, yes. It's the London game next week. They're staying in the Baltimore area after they play the Ravens, and then they're flying to London, and they're playing
the Jaguars. They're playing the London Jaguars.
The London Jaguars.
Yes, yeah.
The Shad Khan London Jaguars.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a bye. So week 7, London, week 8 bye, Puka week 9. Hang on, fantasy people. But that's the best guess right now. Of course, we'll wait for the obligatory MRI and further information.
But no IR is what you're leaning on.
I am hopeful, and expectation is no IR. I don't think it's that serious. He did return to limp around and play some. He did come back, if you want to call it that. I know fantasy people are mad.
Prop bettors, maybe more.
Yeah, prop bettors are mad. Yeah.
I want to mention this next game, Doc. So you had a brilliant game. Our injury numbers, we've been low on Tampa Bay all year, Doc, and they're 5-1. So in theory, they are busting our numbers up a little bit. But I will say, they've been doing it with Emeka Egbuka, right? They have a lot of Evans has been out. Godwin, you mentioned him. Jalen McMillan. That's their top 3, right? And they drafted this kid. Tell me about what his injury today.
Well, for that Tampa game, I looked up, there were only 3 games in the afternoon, but all of a sudden I was like, is that my son playing video games? Oh no, that's actually Baker Mayfield.
With that beautiful run he had. Yeah, absolutely.
He was caught 3 times, sacked, this, that, the other, and the wherewithal to, 3rd and 17 or whatever it was, something like that. I don't know. And reach and get the first down. I mean, amazing. That was
15. Yeah.
15. Okay. I'm sorry. 15. Close enough. Went off. But bottom line is that was a video game.
Yeah.
Craziness. But now think about it. Mike Evans is out. Godwin is back, but not 100% off his ankle fracture dislocation. McMillan's been out with the spine issue.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Egbuka out with a hamstring. And we said there's no such thing as a 1-week hamstring, especially for wide receivers. Calvin Ridley today had a hamstring issue, tried to heat up, stay in the game, and really couldn't. I mean, Egbuka is already ruled out of this game and didn't finish. Doesn't bode well for Tampa, but they seem to keep getting it done no matter what. I have to say at this point, the MVP talk for Baker
It's
is
real.
real
Yeah,
at this
absolutely.
point in time, how he's been playing. And without him, I mean, this would be unbelievable. So, yeah, the wide receiver room gets worse if that's possible for Tampa.
I wanted to talk about Godwin a little bit. They're saying, reports week to week, but they're saying it's the fibula, but they're saying it's the same area, but not exactly the same issue. Or they're being really vague about it. What did you exactly see when you first? I remember you saw it. I saw a tweet that you mentioned it.
Well, I'm just saying, it's the same side, it's the same bone as part of the picture. Is it the exact same injury? Clearly not. He didn't refracture and dislocate it.
Right.
But is there some scar tissue from the area? Is there something else from the area? Likelihood is there is some relation. How direct is the relationship? Hard to say. Of course, the team doesn't want to have it be directly related.
Right.
It could be indirectly related. Either way, hats off to Godwin for playing through right now.
Right.
And they really need him. I don't even know who's next on the depth chart.
Yeah. Tez Johnson. He had a couple touchdowns today. Yes. And Sterling Shepard. Yeah, old man Shepard still here, trucking around. I want to talk about the Thursday night football game a little bit, Doc. It's going to be Steelers versus the Bengals. Tell me first what you saw in the Trey Hendrickson injury with his back.
In a pile, not much. Thought he could try and return. I mean, I'm sure he wants to return to the game, but this is not his neck issue. I don't see it as anything catastrophic or severe. Let's see what happens, but it is a short week.
I have voices yelling at my head, Doc. We forgot about a big one. Talk to me what you saw about Garrett Wilson. We had our crack. You always call him the crack team. Our room of a big number. You always said the crack teams is looking at. They found it for me. I know. I just hear your words. So I remember them. But yeah, we have a group of, like you said, 8 people in the room. We were looking through Garrett Wilson plays that happened at the end. Tell me what you saw on their knee injury.
Not that kind of crack team.
Oh, you know what I mean? Like they're cracked, like they're on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crack down. Yeah.
Yeah. Saw it. Saw Rich Cimini's report. Initially hip, now knee, getting an MRI.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the play where he twisted around, landed on his left hip buttock. But it was the plant jab step as he spun around that he may have twisted his knee up a little bit. There were a few plays left. We've gone over them all. He actually moves very well in those plays. And only a few minutes left in the game. So as best we could tell, barring a surprise, barring some weird meniscus tear, unluckiness, we hope it's not much. Certainly he didn't tear his ACL. Certainly not major. The only hurdle you have to avoid is make sure there's no small meniscus tear. But MRIs are handed out like candy at Halloween. We're getting to Halloween.
You're getting seasonal here with that. Yeah.
So hopefully it'll be fine and nothing. But the Jets need a W there.
They're playing the Panthers, who are apparently the new up and coming team right now. They've been playing well. A couple wins to finish off the last 2 weeks. Tell me your thought. We'll go back to the Thursday game. The Steelers secondary has some pretty big issues going into the Thursday night game, Doc. So you had Slay leave with a shoulder injury. Joey Porter and Peppers had concussion checks, and Jalen Ramsey played through a hamstring injury. Eccles went down but returned. This is the entire secondary for them, Doc. And then going into Thursday, it's hard to recover in a couple of days, correct?
Thursday, short week. If there is a concussion confirmed, and I don't know that there was confirmed.
Yeah, right.
Very hard, near impossible, doubtful at best to return from concussion Thursday. There's been an instance or two, but very, very doubtful.
We had questions on one of the top trade targets, Doc, David Njoku. From fantasy perspective, if he can just get traded to a better passing attack team, you would have a boon. Maybe what do you have him at right now? Tell me your thoughts on his knee injury that you saw today.
Yeah. The Bengals, by the way, on Thursday, Steelers travel to the Bengals. Bengals play at home. Gives them a tiny bit more time to clear somebody, but still unlikely.
Okay.
For the Bengals, but not for the Steelers, right? The Steelers have to clear concussion protocol before they get on the plane. So that would mean whoever has a concussion for the Steelers is basically out. You get on the plane on Wednesday.
Like afternoon or morning? Yeah. Okay.
Midday, close flat. I mean, that means you'd have to be cleared by Wednesday morning. That would mean you would need technically a full practice by Tuesday to do so.
You're basically moving the timeline of day, which is
It's basically not
yeah,
happening.
Yeah.
So we'll sort it out. We'll have a recap pod, sort out which Steelers guys are out, but that is a potential issue. And who do they face? Old man Joe Flacco. And
what are your thoughts on what you saw from him, Chase? I guess a little partnership
I think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are thrilled. If they can get some protection, they can make something happen. And look, Joe Flacco is a veteran, but the playbook is still smaller than it's going to be. Although this short week doesn't necessarily help, but they still have what I might say are the two best wide receivers in the league, at least in tandem.
Tandem-wise, yeah, correct, yeah.
And look, in the first half, they didn't do a lot. We talked about it on the halftime show. They threw underneath a ton. I mean, Joe Flacco was like, I don't know, less than 3 yards a throw downfield. He was less than 2 when we started looking at it. He got it up to 4.3 yards per attempt, 52 pass attempts for 221 yards. Still a lot underneath, but there were a lot more 10-yard plays at the end of that game than earlier. That's not exactly downfield, but it's more than passes to the line of scrimmage.
The pass attempts is crazy because he was leading the league in pass attempts when he was on the Browns. He just goes over to an offense and just, like you said, it's different like from others because you sign somebody they haven't played in a while, but he's, like you said, been playing. He's not off the couch.
I clicked on the wrong thing here. Hazard of doing this live and not knowing. I inadvertently clicked on. I did it again, or is this my?
Are you clicking the Browns?
I'm trying not to click the Browns. I'm trying to click the Bengals.
Do you need his stats? I can hit 29, 45, 219, and 2 touchdowns.
45 is not 52.
Yeah. There you go.
So he's got in the first half, he was like around 2, and he more than doubled it. He's at 5 yards a pass attempt by the end of the game. So he definitely was throwing downfield more. 29 of 45, 219.
I mean, from a fantasy perspective too, Doc, Chase had 10 catches, 94 and a touchdown. You're happy with the quarterback change, right, at the moment. So good for them. Maybe they found something there.
And by the way, so much for illness, like we say.
That was one. Yeah, there was a little dip in his prop number we saw there. Yeah. When people like, what do you say about illnesses? We've always talked about it. You've had one person ever that missed illness. You know,
they have to report it. But other than that, it's not a big deal.
Okay. Next one had Ronnie Stanley. Do you think he's going to miss time after the bye?
I guarantee he's not playing
next week. Yes, okay. I knew you were going to say that. Yes,
but I can almost guarantee you he's playing the week after that.
Okay,
after the bye. That's been his pattern. He's gets vet rest, tries to play through. Not 100%.
So you have Rashee Rice coming back likely this week. What are your expectations from a medical standpoint? His first game back playing the Raiders.
Well, I mean, he's going to be in shape, but the question is it football shape? It helps that he had training camp. This is a suspension, not injury. I think his ramp up will be relatively quick, but be careful of acclimation injuries, muscle injuries, and there'll be another weapon for Patrick Mahomes. And we'll see what happens in tonight's game. We've talked about it before. Yes, Branch is playing, and yes, Kirby Joseph is playing, but no Terrion Arnold, no DJ Reed, cornerback 1 and 2 defensive linemen out. This is a spot like the Chiefs against
Houston.
Chiefs against the Ravens in week 4. Chiefs hosting the Ravens in week 4, and they won handily. Now the Chiefs holding another tough opponent in KC, Detroit Lions.
With defensive issues specifically.
Yeah. Well, obviously our pick was to KC based on the health numbers and injuries prior to the Josh Simmons surprise.
Next one I had, Doc. Let me see here. Jack Conklin. So the Browns offensive line, they've dealt with Jauan Jones being out for the season. Now you have Jack Conklin in and out of lineup. He suffered concussion today. They picked up Cam Robinson in trade. He left the game with a hamstring. They moved Devin Jenkins from guard to left tackle. I don't know if you remember Devin Jenkins from the Bears. He always had back injuries, kind of derailed his career in the Bears. They moved him to left tackle. He played left tackle last time, was in college, maybe early on in the Bears tenure. So tell me your thoughts. That seems like a pretty mangled offensive line going into next week against Miami.
Yeah, it's tough. The best thing the Browns have going for them, Miami's pretty injured too.
Mm-hmm. Specifically in the secondary, yes. So maybe they just seem kind of cancel out. Yeah. And then the Chargers offensive line, Doc, we'll talk about that just in a cluster. Going into next week, they have some issues. You saw Pipkins, Alt, Slater. That stuff isn't going to change.
No, at least Becton played.
Mm-hmm.
At least Becton played. And so much for we have to trade for a running back. What did he get? He got
over 100 yards. Yeah.
Well over.
Yes. And he's like a pass catching back. So that's a good game they had with him with the run scheme they had for him. So that's good. Doc, I just have the wide receiver room from the Niners. Do you expect Pearsall to play next week?
Closer, maybe not quite yet. Closer, maybe not quite yet. I'd say in the realm of possibilities of playing, more sure the week after.
One question I have here about Hampton. Do you believe the reports that it's going to be a longer than 4-week stay on IR?
Well, you would wonder about that if they're talking about trading for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But from the video, I'd say 4 weeks probably does it. Okay, does 4 turn into 5? No more than 6. Is it longer than that? I'm not seeing it right now, but of course I'm not looking at x-rays, MRIs, or examining Omarion Hampton.
Speaking of x-rays and Chargers, I saw reports of Derwin James getting x-ray after the game. Is that just like MRIs? Is that also candy given out, or is that a little bit more serious if you get x-ray?
No, it's like x-rays are at the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
He got it in Miami. You walk down the hallway. Like a lot of times, places, I want to get on the bus. No, I don't want to take it. Look, you want to do this now, or you want to drive in my office tomorrow morning? It'll take you 3 minutes. You walk down the hallway, and they do. So hopefully it's all negative. But I didn't see a particular play on Derwin James.
Last one, just Devin Lloyd. He pulled up. He didn't play most of the second half. They were saying right leg tightness. Those are stuff we'll monitor. We'll get the all 22. We'll look at video of different plays, and we'll have all their updated insights at sixscore.com. Doc, did you want to add anything else today?
No, we'll have a wrap-up pod tomorrow at 11 Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern, after some of the coaches have spoke. Some news coming in here.
Okay, Jauan Jennings said he's currently playing with 5 broken ribs, as well as both high and low ankle sprains. Doc, your favorite. The 5 broken ribs, that's significant.
That is significant. When did he get those broken ribs? Oh, yeah, I remember the play.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it.
Yeah,
I mean, he got cream. I'll give him credit for that one. I was like, I'm not sure he's coming back.
And he stayed in the game. I remember.
He stayed in the game.
Yeah.
I got to give it. It was in the end zone. I remember the play.
Yeah, I do.
Right,
I see it in my brain. Yeah.
And worry about kidneys. Can I vouch for 5? I don't know. Can I vouch that? I'm not trying to call him a liar. Was that hit enough to break multiple ribs? Yes. And it might be that down low, it's the rib cartilage. And sometimes you can't see fractures of the rib cartilage. And so a doctor might say, you've fractured 2 and there's areas of suspicion for several more, and it becomes 5, right? I mean, it's unusual to have 5 bony rib fractures. I'm not calling him a liar. I'm saying that he took quite a shot there. And he didn't do a whole lot today, though, huh? He played, but didn't do a whole lot.
I remember one specifically that you said this exact to. It was Drew Brees. We know him very well. It was in 2020. I remember you were saying there's not. He was lying that it was really hard to get all 8. He said he had 8 rib fractures on the left side and 3 on his right side. And you said that the point that if it's that many, it could be like a collapsed lung or something like that, right?
Look, I don't know the circumstance, and I don't know what Drew was referring to. I don't know if he was saying. I don't think he was saying that I had 8 rib fractures on one side and 3 on the other on one play.
That's not. Yeah,
I mean, exactly. It's like cumulatively this, that, the other, whatever. I'm not trying to doubt his words at all, but yeah, at some point, if you have that many rib fractures, it's very hard to play through, and you start worried about internal organ damage.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. But I'm not doubting Jauan Jennings. I'm not doubting Drew Brees.
All right, Doc. Well, that's it. I have anything else? Just make sure you go to sixscore.com. Sick picks as well. Had a solid week. Guaranteed pick is coming tonight. Anything else? Yeah.
No, we're good. We're good on our season guarantees and other things, and we're already locked into a winning week right now, with more to come.
Right.
And we'll go over some things again tomorrow morning, like we said, and all week long. We're in in the midst of the season and having fun. Hope you'll continue to join us. Appreciate you.
And if anybody missed Puka, any of the Hampton, Wilson, Egbuka, just go rewind and you can find information there. Thank you so much.